How many of you have done trails on Agentforce? All right, good, good. All right, good. So you guys seen it at least. How many of you have gone a little bit farther and tried to build your own flow, your own agents? Sorry. All right, good. Is it hard?
Yes. Yes.
Good. Yeah, I thought when I started work, I've been telling this story many times throughout this event on these 2 days. It was very hard for me. I've been a developer. I'm not afraid of code. I'm very techy. But when it came to Agentforce, I would not be able to make it work. Yeah, Trails, sure, copy paste, done, easy. But when I tried to build my own agents, it's like, no, I don't get it. So there were a few things that finally clicked and kind of started making sense. And I've been able to build quite a few nice, good, smart agents. I was actually talking to you 6 months ago, maybe. Say, I'm going to make a session about this. And I'm here today. Everybody, clap for her. I'm here. Thank you. All right, cool. I'm actually your front row. All right, good. So that's what this session is kind of all about. Anybody works for this company? Good. All right, 2, 3, good. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. All right. But truly, thanks to everybody for being here. Without you, this would not be possible. I cannot speak on an empty room. So thank you for being here. All right. Have we ever met?
Yeah.
All right, good. I see a lot of heard a lot of yes. Good. Thank you. You may have read my blogs before. You may have watched my videos. This is gonna be one more that I'm gonna put on my YouTube channel. Attending classes. I had some of you that say, "Oh, I attended class with you 10 years ago." That really means a lot to me. If you still remember me after 10 years, that meant that I made an impact, and I'm really, really proud, happy with that. Follow me on LinkedIn. Has anybody bought me virtual coffee yet? Not yet. Somebody here, I'm not going to say who actually bought me lunch the other day, so thank you. All right, cool. This session, I built it on my own free time, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, working hard for you guys. It's not part of my job. It doesn't represent Salesforce. I do work as I guess I kind of used to work as a Salesforce instructor. Later in this month, I'm changing jobs. I'm becoming an Agentforce engineer. I love this technology. All right, cool. So what are we going to talk about today? Today, we're going to start with basics, okay? I'm not making any assumption other than the fact that you probably have gone through Trailhead and seen some of that. That's enough for what I need. If you haven't, I'll help you cover as well. So we're going to talk about AI, what's LLMs, large language models, hallucinations, natural language, vibe coding. Have you ever heard of vibe coding? All right. What is that? You write a prompt, you write the code for you. It also writes the instructions for the agents, right? So it's not only code. And then a very important topic, which I think it deserves to be spoken about, which is the fact that agents are non-deterministic. Okay. Once we have the basics, we'll talk about what Agentforce is actually all about. There are some standard topics, really good session yesterday on SDR. Thank you. The Atlas Reasoning Engine, Agent Builder. How many of you know what RAG is? All right. So we'll talk about RAG, best practices, but you guys should have, and I see that you did, break a computer because we're gonna do a hands-on training. How many of you have seen the Dreamhouse app before? It's an old app. Okay, good. So you and I are gonna make it smarter with agents. We're gonna put agents back. That's what's happening today. The reason I created this session, as I explained before, is because creating agents is hard. And it's not. You can copy paste from Trailhead. and get an engine working. But that is just like turning the car on. You need to learn to drive it. It's a high-performance machine. I don't know if you guys are familiar that brands like BMW or Porsche, they have tracks where you actually go and you learn how to drive these fancy cars. You have to learn how to drive these fancy cars. I found a video and I was like, I have to put this video for you. It's very short, very, very short. Don't blink because you will miss it. Yes, that actually did happen. Driving those cars where you go like with a throttle, and you gotta learn to drive. And you gotta learn how to drive or how to build agents. Ready to learn?
Yeah.
Good, because I'm ready to teach. So let's do that. But the first thing we need to do, because it's hands-on, is I need you guys to get an org. Okay? Okay, so how are we gonna do that part? How are we gonna do that part? So what I want you to do, hold for me 1 second. It's get connected, open the browser, internet, all the stuff. And everybody's gonna go to this URL, a sfdc.co, not .com, that's co org claim. sfdc.co org claim. Gonna get to a page that is gonna ask you to get redirected. Do you get there? Good, thumbs up. All right, good, excellent. You're gonna be asked for a code. Actually, let me try to open that. You're gonna be asked for a code. The code is MD, Montreal Dreamin. Yes, 0606, June 6th, basically. All right, so you go and you type MD 0606, and you get to this page. Each of you have your own org, that's the username, that's the password. But if you click on this button, it automatically logs you in. So click on the launch button and you will be automatically logged in. Okay. Also, kind of really important. Click on the exercise guide to download. Actually, it's not the correct label. I couldn't get that fixed. But if you do click on it, it will open a page. I want you to bookmark that page. Yeah. Yes, ma'am, please.
Go back to the.
sfdc.co/org claim MD0606. sfdc.co/org claim. Did you get it? All right, and then MD0606. You good? All right. Bookmark this page. So for this session, I built slides, org, some basic metadata that you will install through a package, a website, exercise. I built the whole thing just for you. Thank you. All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click on exercise guide. You're gonna click on that exercise guide, and that will maybe open a new tab or something. Open a new tab. It's gonna open the exercise guide, and we're gonna go to, this is 3 hours long. We're gonna do an hour, break for lunch, 2 hours later. Hopefully we don't run out of time. That's the only thing that I'm really concerned about. It's running out of time. And we're basically doing the first exercise, exercise 1. We got the org, the code, we got that, and the website, bookmark it. It will be good. I'm not taking it down. Anybody who's watching the recording, hi mom, will be able to have access to that same site. Not to the orgs, but to the site. The address right here. There's a QR code, takes you to the same place if you're watching the recording. And we're doing that then. Yes, please.
Yeah, it's great. Weird. Because right now the Zoom is capturing you at the camera.
Yay. Of course, I did forget. And thank you for asking for that.
Can we share the Zoom meeting ID?
Yeah, I do. Something told me not to turn it off. Right here. That's the meeting ID. That's the password. All right, good. So let's continue with the exercise. Maybe if I put my glasses on, I don't have to guess what's coming. All right, so how many of you love those pop-ups? When you get a brand new org, yes, I hate them too. Actually, let me move this out of the way to my other monitor here. We're gonna do, so what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna do, this is gonna be 1/3 of the screen and this is gonna be 2/3 of the screen, just so I can have the steps here. So we're gonna go to the setup and start typing guide, but just 4 letters, GUID, because there's 2 menus that we need. In app guidance, or actually guidance center, and turn that off. And in app guidance, settings, and checkbox off and checkbox off. So guidance centers and toggle off. And then if in app guidance, you go to settings, turn those 2 things off. Okay. We don't have those annoying pop-ups, lovely pop-ups, in case Mark Benioff is watching this video. So you type GUID, and there's 2 options, guidance center, the toggle off, that's enough. In app guidance, go settings, turn those things off, and click save. All right. All right. Good? All right. So then we're going to change the first name, last name, email, address, and time zone, because one of the things we're going to say later is book me an appointment for 10 a.m. So if we're in the same time zone, it will be a little bit easier to do the math. So we're going to click on this lady's picture, go to settings, put your first name, last name, and email address. And click save. You'll get an email. You can or cannot reply to it. Check your email, right, Anna? No, Amy, check your email, right? I haven't, because my phone is right there. And the time zone, here we say language. Oh, actually, over here we say language and time zone. And we are GMT -4. We are in Montreal, but actually it's Toronto. GMT -4. Look for American Toronto. All right. So language and time zone, and then look for GMT -4, and then kind of look for Toronto, GMT -4, Toronto, and click save, of course. All right. Now promise me that if I go too fast, you're gonna slow me down, which I think may be already happening. I'm too excited about this session. All right. So next thing we're gonna do is check to see if this org has data cloud, which I think that it should. So we go to data cloud setup. You go, I like to, this is the gear icon, but I like to call it the deer icon. So my deer icon. Go to a deer icon and go to data cloud setup. And it should be all connected to a data cloud. If you have a start button, you gotta click on that, but I already click on that button because it takes 30 minutes for each org. So, all right. So far, so good? All right. So as I told you, we're gonna use the Dreamhouse app, but I make some changes to it just to make it a little bit easier to some of the things we're gonna do. And I create additional things. So this is the version of the, this is my version of the Dreamhouse package. You can copy the URL, then go into the URL here and paste it. Step 5. Step 5.1, actually.
Sorry, which page actually has the steps?
Okay, hold on. Let's try doing that again. So here's the agentic programming exercise guide. So agentic programming exercise guide. Okay, you guys have access to that, right? All right. Then you click on that exercise 1, initialize org. You see the steps right there. And we are in step 5. Does it work now, Amy? Oh, well, yeah. Because you're not familiar with that, I kind of made an assumption. You delete everything after that com, everything, only one dash, forward slash, then paste that thing, packaging to there, hit enter. Then it will take a little bit, install for all users. One of the things that we're gonna learn today how to do with Agentforce is making an API call to validate, to get some information about a zip code. So there's gonna be some sites that we need to access. So click on install and then the checkbox to say that yes, you're allowing it to go to El Toro, Dreamhouse, Agentforce, whatever app. Okay, it's gonna be kind of a mock of a real API, but. And click continue, and we're gonna wait to get installed. All right, who got lost there?
Steps.
Okay, let's do that. Well, that loads. Let me go back. Can you access sfdc.co, sfdc org claim? I think that is the easiest one. And then click on exercise guide, download. Okay, once you do that, you're gonna get to the website, which has a lot of things. It has a repo, the one that we just installed. It has the slides, so I'm already giving you that, because usually that's the first question that students ask. Can we get a copy of the slides? You already have that. And the exercise guide is right over here. So if you click on the exercise guide, you're gonna get exercise 1, initialize. All right, good. I can take a picture, get your phone ready. Wait, hold on. Good. All right, this finish install, which is good, because once it finishes installing, we need to go into the tic-tac-toe, go into Dreamhouse app. There's settings. import data. That is usually there. That is usually there. I may have modified the Apex code to generate some code or records or whatever, but I think it's pretty much there. Oh no, I know what I did. What I did is I disabled it and I added please wait, because otherwise you don't know if you clicked it. That's the only thing I did. I didn't do anything else, but that is there.
In the Dreamhouse.
Yes. So the version of the this repo has pretty much the same metadata plus a few more things. One of them is I changed the alignment components because I clicked. It takes a little bit, but if it doesn't go gray, okay, it's done. Doesn't gray out and stuff, then it's hard to know if you actually click it or not. All right, that was exercise number 1. Let me clean up this a bit. Need this over here. Recording in progress. Good. I need that. I probably don't need anything else. All right. So that was exercise number 1. That's getting things ready. But there's one more thing that we need to get ready, which we'll talk about it first and then we'll do it, which has to do with RAG. Okay, RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, is basically you load a PDF file and then you ask questions about that PDF document. So Retrieval Augmented Generation is basically gonna have 2 different steps in Salesforce. Actually, I guess in everywhere you do it, even if you do other RAG, it's gonna be 2 steps. There's one step which is preparing the data. We call this the offline phase, where we basically load the PDF file, chunk it, vector index, all the stuff, and then a search online. Indexing the file takes about half an hour, so I decided to do it right now. We're gonna do the RAG is gonna be the last exercise on the afternoon today, but if it takes half an hour, maybe an hour, we have enough time for that before we actually need it. So right now we're gonna talk about the first phase, which is the offline phase. So the preparation, you load the PDF file or knowledge articles as well, and then it chunk it, which I was talking with somebody at lunch yesterday, and I came up with a really good example. You got a travel guide which is 50 pages long. Of if you want to go to Montreal, this is what you gotta do. Okay, so there's 10 pages for restaurants, then 10 pages for museums, transportation, whatever, right? So it's gonna take chunks of 10 pages, right? And it's gonna vectorize that, which basically says if I say restaurant and it's food, it's the same thing, right? So it's a singular search. So that's the chunking, that's the vectorization. Index, of course, and stores the data in data column. All right, cool. So that's what we're gonna do on the second exercise. Gonna do this the offline phase of RAG. So for that, we go back to the exercise guide. We are in exercise 1. We can go to 1 level up here to agentic programming, get access to the second exercise. And we're gonna do the steps for. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Hold on. Sorry, that's what I did wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna make this here. I'm gonna make that there. I'm gonna go to my org. All right. And the exercise number 2. Okay, we're gonna create a data library. This is what how RAG works in Salesforce. We're gonna go into the setup. We're gonna type in Einstein. Somebody told me that's the proper pronunciation for that. Einstein. All right, then we go into data library. Where is it? Oh, they call it Agentforce. Yeah, it's right here, actually. I should even read my own notes. Einstein data library. And then we click on the new library button. We're going to call this listings property policy. So what is this? Dreamhouse has a PDF document with all the policies. And then we need a description, which is policy, how to list properties. You can triple click here and it will copy that whole paragraph. That would be consistent throughout the menu. So it's a good tool for build and exercise guides. So just triple click and it will copy that, or select it and then you copy. All right. So the next thing we need to do is we need to download this file. Just click on it. And it opens, depends on the browser, but make sure you download it. It goes somewhere, depending on your Windows or whatever, it goes somewhere. All right, download. And that's the document that we're gonna chunk and vectorize and all the stuff to search the information. And then back into the org where it says data type right over here, I'm gonna say that it is a PDF file. And we're gonna upload the file from the place where you just downloaded a few seconds ago. This takes a couple seconds to load. Maybe a little bit longer than a couple seconds.
Have to refresh.
Well, wait. Should I take? All right, I'll refresh. All right, it's there. So when the file gets loaded, the PDF file gets loaded, just like we did into a data library, it goes in data cloud. That's why we need data cloud for one of the reasons. And then what I want to do is create some queries in data cloud so that later, at the end of the day, we can run those queries and see if the file was actually loaded or not. So that's going to be a step number 3. We're going to do the queries. We cannot run them right now, but let's get the queries ready. So we're going to switch to another app, which is called Data Cloud. All right. And in there, under More, there's something called a query editor. How many of you have worked with that Data Cloud? Okay, well, cool. There's a tool called Query Editor that allows you to guess what? Edit queries. All right, we're gonna click New. So we're gonna create a new workspace with a couple queries in there. We're gonna call this test rag. And click Save. Data Cloud has 2 types of objects, DLOs and DMOs. DLOs is where you load the data. DMOs is where you actually, after a little bit of cleaning, you got those objects there. We're going to work with that. And there are 2 objects that should be there now, thanks to enabling the new library, which is called file si chunk and index. Now, watch this. I'm going to do it slowly. If I go to a chunk and I click on this drop down, create query. That's it. And do it the same thing for the next one.
Thing inside the dots, and then it just made that sidebar disappear. Has that ever happened to you?
In this one here? Yeah, you can actually hide it or move it. Refresh. All right, and we're gonna save it because we're gonna need it for later. We can run it right now, but it's probably not gonna be any data right now as expected. You guys good? Create the queries? Amy is behind.
Step 2.
So on the data model object, you click on the arrow next to the chunk on the index. Oh. Control minus. Is that a Mac? Is that a Mac? Command minus, and it will zoom out. All right, we good? All right. All right. What's AI? What I really need to ask. Anybody heard about ChatGPT before? Wait, hold on. Raise your hand if you have heard about ChatGPT before. Okay, good. Where have you been for the last 2 years? I'm pointing to no. I'll take it.
I never mentioned.
All right, I'm sorry.
that.
What's a large language model? What's an LLM? Well, an LLM is something that is capable of understanding and generating human language. Anybody here speak English? We. Good one. Good one. All right. So it was trained on massive amount of data. It read the whole internet. What? It read books. It read Reddit, Wikipedia, blog posts, code, everything. It learned how humans write, think, and talk. And it thinks that it can do it. All right, that's pretty good. All right. But how does it work? Well, LLM is probabilistic. What does that mean? There's a lot of math, statistical model, that is able to predict the next word or the next phrase on a sentence. Are non-deterministic. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, better examples. But basically, if you give the same inputs, you get different outputs. Okay? It kind of makes it feel more natural. And it can hallucinate, which basically means it can present false information, but it's very confident about that. Okay. To err is human. To invent facts and deliver them like truth, that requires. So hallucinate. Talk about it. What's an hallucination? Idea. See this little query, this link here is actually true. I did it. Took a screenshot because it takes time to do that. Is 3821 a prime number? Okay. To check if 3821 is a prime number, we need to see if it has any double divisors other than 1 and itself. After checking, it found out that 3821 is the same thing as 47 times 31. What does that mean? It's not prime. 47 times 31. What? I like what you were doing. She pulled the calculator to see if I was lying on. Trust, but very fun. Very fun.
What's the LLM?
ChatGPT? ChatGPT. I put a date, April 7th, when I was kind of starting to think about this session. So it may have been better now. I don't know. Things change a lot. All right. So then we talk about vibe coding. What is vibe coding? You write a prompt, it writes code for you. It's actually really good for Agentforce as well because you will be able to write your sentences that you have to do for the descriptions and the instructions and all that stuff. So I asked a simple question. Write Salesforce Apex code that can run in execute anonymous code. What does that mean? Don't put it inside a class, don't put it inside a test method. I want you to be able to copy, paste, run, done. That queries the accounts group by city and prints the city and the number in the account of each city. There's 3 accounts in Toronto, 4 in Montreal, 5 in Quebec City, 7 in New York. All right. And he gave me this code. Copy that code, paste it into developer console. Actually, it did work. Anybody see any problem with that code? Let me change the question. Can you make it better? Yes, the answer is you can. If you just do a group by work. You're gonna make 20 lines of 50 lines of code, you can just do it in 3 or whatever. Right? So trash bag. Got it. All right. All right. Now that we're in some AI, what's Agentforce? Good. Really? You haven't heard about Agentforce. Where have you been in the last year?
Is that a new version?
Yeah.
New version with no.
Oh, no. Oh, that's my spelling mistake. Anybody heard about Agentforce? No. Agentforce, yes. All right. So an agent is an autonomous AI who's able to make decisions, understands contexts, learns from interactions, operates with clear goals, and is constrained by guardrails. That's what an agent is. You've probably seen something similar to this, a little bit improvement on the slide. You've seen it, I'm sure. Oh, but before I go there. So when you build an agent, you think about, if I hire a new person and I wanted that person to do a job, what do I need to tell that person to do? So there's 5 characteristics of an agent. First one is the role. This is what they do. I'm gonna hire somebody to sell houses. What do they do? Houses. How do I do that in the agent? Topics and instructions. It also needs to have knowledge. This is what they know. What does my new realtor knows? Which houses? You better don't sell my house. It's not on the market, so don't sell it. Right? It needs to know which houses. You do that with data. You ground it with CRM, you ground it with data cloud, you ground it with RAG. This is what they need to know, what the agent needs to know, or what the person needs to know. Actions. This is what they can do. What can they do? They can sign contracts. How do you do that? Standard and custom actions. Guardrails. This is what they cannot do. Only sell the houses that are for sale. I'm sure you wouldn't be happy if he sells your house. All right. And last but not least, channel. Where you're gonna do the work. The agent, the person, maybe on the phone, maybe on the street, door to door. I don't know how many of you. It's kind of common in my neighborhood. You get pamphlets hanging from the door every day saying, "Oh, we'll buy your house," and stuff, right? But it's not. Are you also from Toronto? Oh, so it's a Toronto thing, pardon. For the case of the agent in Agentforce, we can have basically 2 types. Inside, that's Agentforce default. That's what we're gonna do. Outside, through a digital experience. That's the example in Trailhead where Sofia Rodriguez buys a house through a digital experience from Coral Cloud. So if you've done the effort. All right, cool. All of that, of course, in a trusted way, running on top of the Einstein trust layer. But what is exactly an Agentforce? Well, Agentforce is basically 2 things. We have a standard set of agents. It was a really good session I saw yesterday about SDRs, but there's Agentforce, that's the one we're gonna do. For setup, there's one that is common, which is an employee agent, a whole bunch of different agents. But there's also a set of tools. The set of tools are topics, scope, instructions, actions. Okay. Now those actions are going to be flows, Apex prompts. So if you're familiar with Apex prompts, Apex, flows, APIs, things like that, that's still very relevant. It's not changing that. And also the Atlas reasoning engine, which is basically the brains of Agentforce, is how they think. Today, we're gonna focus on that. Okay, on how you build your own application. All right. So another take is that there is a change between or from UX to CX. UX is user experience, and CX is conversational experience. So rather or instead of you creating a form, you create an agent that you can actually talk to it in natural language, English, French, Spanish, and it will be able to do what you do. So on the left-hand side, I have a Google Forms, or Google Flights, what it's called, trying to get a flight from Toronto to Montreal. The other side is how I interact with an agent in English. All right. So difference comparing UI or UX to CX. In the UI, you design your forms. In CX, you design your conversations. Think of, let's say, an easy one. Think of Home Depot. Do you guys have Home Depot here? It's called probably something else. Depot de la Casa. De la Home. Because I know that it's called what?
No, I always suggest places in BC and.
Oh, okay.
It's in there.
You guys have Home Depot here?
Yes.
It's called Home Depot. Oh, because Kentucky Fried Chicken is called Poulet de, yeah, something like that. So I thought maybe Home Depot here. What color is it?
Orange.
Orange. Okay, they have a language. They have a brand. Similarly, when you're writing agents, you want them to be formal or not formal, depending on what the type of thing. Like if you were thrown heavy, we'll throw it in formal language. All right. All right. So agents are non-deterministic. What does that exactly mean? This is very, very important that you understand this particular concept. Deterministic and non-deterministic. Deterministic, same inputs, produce the same output every single little time. If you want to enter, what were the numbers 47 and 81? In the morning, afternoon, and night, it will give you the same number. Deterministic. Non-deterministic is you don't know what number they're going to be. When that lady rolls the dice, what number will the dice fall on? Exactly. That is non-deterministic. I'm sorry. Yeah, that is non-deterministic. But will the dice fall? Will they change color? So even with non-deterministic, I'm getting confused. Even with non-deterministic, there's things that you know that they will happen. What the number will be, well, unless they are cheating dice or loaded dice or whatever, it will always fall as a number, but they're real dice, they won't fall. So even with non-deterministic, there's things that you can depend on. All right. How many of you are developers, write Apex? Oh, really? Wow. I assumed there were more. Read Apex. A couple more hands went up. All right, good. So I guess this one I cannot really go that well. But you write code, it will always do the same thing. It will tell you it's either even or not, right? Will it say pair or even or is even? No, it won't. Not unless you change the code, right? The code is deterministic. The output is always going to be the same, always. It's not gonna say it's even, not odd, divisible by 2, right? Because its code, Apex, is deterministic, similar with flows. All right. But LLMs are non-deterministic. So if I say, generate Salesforce Apex code suitable for anonymous execution, the code should check the first 10 numbers and indicate if the number is even. I get possible different answers. That. Are they exactly the same thing? No. Do they do the same thing? Yes. There's a loop, it's gonna go through those numbers, and you kind of get the same results. Similar, at least you get not the exact words, but close enough. And with Agentforce, close enough is good enough, by the way. All right. Oh yeah, close enough is good enough. All right, let's take a look at another thing about this. Can we trust AI? Now we know that it's not gonna give us the same answer. Close enough is good enough. Okay, so there's a story. Two random people. Those pictures were AI generated, by the way. They meet on the street. They're friends. They know each other, right? What is she gonna say?
Good. Are you
Doing great, pretty good, all good, quite well, whatever. But he's not gonna punch him. He's not gonna call police. He's not gonna run away. There's some things that we know that are gonna happen. Exact words may not be the same. Close enough is good enough. All right. We're gonna do together some agents all day together, and the results that we get may vary. We're all building with the same orgs that I gave you. Well, each of you have a different org, but it's an identical org. We have the same steps, but the results should be similar. You will get similar words. Results will vary. My text doesn't say that. Well, does it say something close to that? Yes, okay, then we're good. It's like winter. You guys get a lot more snow than we do back in Toronto. A lot more. What is it? So you probably heard that the shape of the snowflake, you don't know what shape that will be because every snowflake is different, right? But is it cold?
Yeah.
Yeah. You hate shoveling it? I do. Yeah. All right. I mean, the shape of each snowflake system is the same idea. All right. So we're going to do exercise number 3. We're going to build a very simple hello world. You guys know that every developer, first time, any code, the first exercise they do is a hello world. We're going to do something similar here. All right. All right. So exercise number 3. So let's go back here. Let's go back to exercise number 3, hello world. All right. This run? No, I wasn't expecting it to be done. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the deer icon, my deer icon, and we're going to click on the setup menu. And we're going to go into Einstein Setup. And toggle the first switch on, or flip the switch, flip the first toggle, whatever that happens to be. All right. All right. Once it's flipped, refresh. The reason you need to refresh is because when you enable the Einstein, there are some things on the metadata that change, of course, and the menus here change, of course. So once it's refreshed, now we can go into Agentforce. Refresh. Agentforce. There you go. And we're going to go into Agentforce agents. Okay, if you don't see this, refresh after you toggle the switch. All right, toggle the one for Agentforce and toggle the one for the default agents. Both of them. So your screen should look like this. All right, we're gonna build an agent. So we're going to go into Einstein Copilot here on the bottom. And we're going to click on Open in Builder. Deactivate it so we can make changes to it. There's already one topic. We don't want any topic, so we're going to delete whatever the topic is. I don't care what it is. Get rid of it. So no topics. You go into Einstein Setup and you flip on a switch on the top right of the screen. And then you go into Agentforce. That's basically a step number. You're asking me about a step number 1. You go into you go to Einstein Setup. Yeah, I didn't write every instruction there. I guess I would have. All right. So I forgot what it was. Deactivate it. All right. Once you are in the agent, go into Settings. There's a checkbox right over here on the bottom of the screen that is going to, if you click it, which we will, or you enable it, which we will, it will log everything that you do. Then after today's session, where we've done a lot of agents, you can actually see and go and see what were the prompts and the generated text and stuff like that. All right, so check on that and click Save. Remove all topics already done. All right. All right. So we're gonna create our first topic. Yay! Woo! Click New and New Topic. All right. Triple click on the paragraph. It says assist the user, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to paste that. Assist the user. Can I do that here? Assist the user with solving simple addition problems. You should only do additions. No other math operations are allowed. Okay? Simple, I think. Click on it. Click on Next. And what it does, it generates based on that thing that we just typed or paste. It generates a topic. In my case, simple addition assistance. Do you get exactly those 3 words? Anybody did not get those exact words? Good, because it's non-deterministic. Assist users with solving simple addition problems. Do you get exactly those words? Anybody did not? Good, because it's not deterministic. All right. So we just click Next. No actions for now. Just click Finish. Actually, when I was doing this, I took a couple of screenshots of the 2 versions because they are slightly different words. If you get this overlap detected right now, today, June 6, 11:56, don't worry about it. But when you're building your own agents, and what it does is it goes and checks to see if you have 2 topics that do the same thing, because you should not do that. You should mix everything into one single topic. We'll talk about that as best practices. It's good for you to actually identify that. I think there's a little bug on Salesforce, because if we only have one topic, it shouldn't be enabled. It may be fixed on summer, maybe. But I'm saying if you only have one topic, don't worry about it. If you have more than one, then maybe check to see if you are actually trust but validate, right? Always make sure that it's not hallucinated. All right. Good. Now we're going to test it. Okay. Refresh the screen. And we're going to do 2 plus 3. And click on Send, or whatever that happens to be called. All right, the sum of 2 and 3 is 5. All right, that sounds good. Let's do the last one here. Can you calculate 15 divided by 3? What do you think it should happen? Nothing is not the right answer.
No.
Not nothing. Exactly. It will should say, I'm not allowed to do divisions. You told me on the topic that you only want this to do additions. I can only assist. What does it say? It's all non-deterministic, so the words keep changing. I can only assist you with addition. For division, you might want to use a calculator or another tool if you have addition, blah, 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 blah. Did you refresh? Did you refresh the screen? Because the other thing is, when we're going to talk about this in a minute, when it says select topic, is it the simple addition assistant? Yeah, you need to refresh the screen because it's doing the default action, which knows how to do divisions. But we're explicitly using this action. This action says don't allow, or this instruction, this topic, it says. All right. So refresh. Better now? It says it's not allowed? Good. All right. All right. That was exercise number 3. Now, this is where things start getting really fun. So far, it's been simple agents. So, yes, please. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. I was hoping to get, yeah, we'll go for lunch. What's my exercise guide? I think I'm a little bit behind. Where's my exercise guide? Come on, where are you? Our first hour. Okay. Actually, let's do 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. It won't take much. And exercise 4, we'll do it while we're eating lunch. What? Yes, we will. Do I have to take my computer? No, you don't. All right. So, Dreamhouse. Anybody seen that Dreamhouse app? This is a really quick because it's a demo. The Dreamhouse app. Hold on. Do this. I can do that. I can go here. We installed that. We installed an app which is called the Dreamhouse app, which is right over here. What it basically does, it has few things. This is from, I didn't create this. This is already there. Has the houses that you can search for houses. You could actually create a property. You can find them on a map because usually it's like I want to work near my home, near my office or whatever. And there are several properties here. One of them is called 18th Street, Henry Street. That's the one that we're primarily going to be doing on the exercises. You click on that. We click on that, then you get information about your house and stuff like that. Okay, that was that exercise. All right. Okay, and this is where the exercise number 4 starts. Let's go to lunch, and you'll do it while you are eating lunch. Think about how we could actually make an agent smart for that particular app. What would the agent do? And I'll leave it at that. I'll give your answers once we come back from lunch. Why are we going to build an agent? What is the agent going to do? What is it going to help you? You're not allowed to look at the slides because the next slide has the answers somehow, some ideas. Okay, let's go for lunch. The next thing we're going to do is going to put a timer right now for 60 minutes. And actually, with that, I'm not late anymore. Sixth floor, All right, so did you guys do your homework? All right. I know the table I was with, we did it. So what do you think about? Did you think about finding a house maybe by the number of bedrooms, location, price? Maybe updating the record once it's sold? The neighborhood? What good schools or food or something around there in the area? Booking an open house. So I want the realtor says we're gonna have an open house on next weekend or whatever. Who was the user? We have two types. Could be realtors that work inside the Dreamhouse realtor, or we can have families who are looking for houses. We would do a service agent with a digital experience for that. We're not gonna do the families. Everything else we're gonna do. So it's gonna be internal realtors, just because it was easier. But everything that I'm gonna talk about and we're gonna learn applies to any of the agents that you built with Salesforce or Agentforce. So the first use case we're gonna do is find me information about houses. When you start designing or thinking about building your agents, the first thing you must do is come up with the utterance. So these are some of the utterance that we're going to use for the next exercise. Show all listings, summarize the property name standing Victorian, give me the details for property name, whatever, give me the details for the property at this particular address, the zip code, give me a property or properties, because there could be more than one in the same zip code, at least 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms at most. I want to clean a lot of bathrooms. 2 is good enough. Show me the properties in specific city. All the data for Dreamhouse are houses in Boston, in Cambridge. All right, how many listings are there grouped by city? So first thing, talk to your stakeholders. Anybody here vegetarian? All right, so the chicken holders, then the stakeholders, the chicken holders. And come up with this list. And you're gonna build your agent to that. That's the start. That's the first step. Think of the occurrences that you're going to be asking the agent, or that your realtors are going to be asking the agent that you're going to. All right. So that's going to be exercise number 5. All right. All right. So let's do exercise number 5. I guess I can kill the timer for now. So number 5. Oh, that's on the second hour. I think we're doing really good on time. The one that is called show properties. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is go back to the setup menu. Actually, we can close some of these. Leave one open. Yeah, that one. I'm very try to be organized when I do work on that. So I like to keep my tabs kind of clean. We're going to go into the setup, into the deer icon, go into the setup, go back to Agentforce, agents. We already have an agent that is called Einstein Copilot that is doing the math, okay? Now, I want you to pay attention to this right over here. If you expand on this little caret or greater than or whatever, you're gonna see version 1. That's your math. We're gonna keep that the same. On that row, you're gonna do clone version. You found it? You expand it. Version 1 at the end, you do clone version. That's version 2. You click on version 2. it opens your agent on version 2. It's all similar to flows. How many of you have done flows? You can version them, same idea. All right. So then what we're gonna do, step 2, is ensure there's no topics. So we're gonna remove the topic that we created before lunch, which is simple addition, whatever it's called, get rid of it. You make it an error, that's fine, refresh. So there's no topics. We're gonna create a new topic. Click new topic. When I'm building agents for real, not on a class with 50 people who are trying to do the same steps, where you need a lot of consistency, and that's gonna be really important on this set of exercises. If I was a real agent, I would probably put some paragraph like we did for the math. Let's see what it generates, start cleaning it up, and make it work. Because I want everybody to be kind of at least on the same page somehow. I'm gonna take some shortcuts. Right now, we're not gonna say anything here. Leave it blank and click next. All right. So the name is gonna be property management. Manage property records, very, very simple. And only manage property records, that's the scope. And the instruction is manage property records. Now, this is obviously not going to work well, because what does manage mean? Exactly. So let's see how far we can take it. All right, so copy those things, click next. We're actually going to add some actions now, the ones that are for working with records. So in here, we're gonna just type the word record, filters down to 7 actions, select all of them. Let's see how far we can get, and that's actually a good idea, with the simplest thing we can do. Don't start overcomplicating everything right now. Start small and add things as you notice that they're missing. That's the rule of the game. That's what we're going to be doing. All right.
Right.
Yes, please. No, only one. Governor limits.
Topic, but the topics are they available to every agent within the org, or are they only available within the agent? So we created 5 agents in the org, and I created this one topic.
I think it's standard topics you can reuse, but I don't think that the custom topics are listed there. Now, if you really want to reuse a custom topic, you're probably doing it wrong. Because why do you have multiple agents? Why are you repeating the topic? Why do you have multiple agents doing the same thing? Why not just have one agent doing that? So, I mean, there's not an answer to that question. It's just an eye opener, and I cannot answer in 30 seconds. But maybe it doesn't make sense to reuse custom topics. All right, so let's all add all the 7 items. All right, click finish.
You started Zoom.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yes, I think I did. Can everybody confirm? It's still recording? Yes. Still sharing the screen? Yes. Anybody in the Zoom? No? All right. I think I am, but I'm checking here. All right. So now we're going to test the agent that we just built. Let's refresh the whole page. We're going to copy these uRuns, show all listings, paste them here, click send. Let's see what happens. All right, it found some data. Actually found, for me, could be different. Non-deterministic, found the 18 Henry Street, which is the one we're gonna work with. Few more, seems to be working. Let's take a closer look at how Agentforce actually came to this particular answer, which is important that you understand this, because this is how you're going to troubleshoot your agents while you're building them. So take a look. This is the planner right here in the center of the screen. This is the planner. That's the prompt that we wrote, or the URLs, which is show all listings. It's going to select a topic. Well, that's easy because it only has one. It has 7 actions, the ones that we added. And it has 1 instruction, manage property records. Okay, so then, let's collapse this for a little bit. It's going to do a query record. And it's going to do query, well, come on. The query, show all property records. Okay, that's the input to the action. The output to the action, and this is where it's really important, it's a record or an object, I should say, which is property underscore C. We're doing custom objects. Stuart, we were talking in launch about doing this with campaigns. That could have been probably, or opportunities, I don't remember, that could have been a good option there. But because I'm taking what they did on the developer evangelist or advocates did, and it's a custom object. It has a name, has an address, has a city, has some information about that, all the different records. This one also, right over here, has the SOCO query. Select name, address, city, from property, order by system mode stamp, show me the last 50. We're not doing it where, so it's bringing all the listings. That makes sense.
Is this deterministic? Because I had a difference. I had a request to clarify what I wanted. And it has,
that's possible. This takes the same instruction. Do show all listings, clarify, or give me a list of all things, and it should then work. But eventually, you should be able to get to do a query of the records.
so I'm being told that they need to refresh it, right?
I have the same machine.
It's a good idea to refresh. For now, for the next little bit, please, this is important for the demo that we're going to do. Don't worry about this refresh. Just refresh the page. For now.
Yeah.
For now. Just refresh the page. We'll talk about the other one later, which is important, but not right now. So we need to talk about something else. All right. So without refreshing anything else, let's take a look at another query, which is another URL, which is summarize property name standing Victorian. Let's send that, and let's see what happens. And if it says, are you sure? Or something like that, yes. Do you want to try it again? Yes, or something. Try to make it work. It may not come out on the same the first time. Just chat a little bit more with it, because that part is non-deterministic. But doing the actions, this is deterministic. That is not. All right. So what is it doing here? There's another action, which is identify record by name. Find me an object, which is a property whose record name is standing Victorian. Every object in Salesforce has a name, right? Maybe a case number for the case and some other ones, but for the most part, they do have a field called name or something like this. So this one is, find me an object whose name is standing Victorian. And then it should give you here a property and the ID and the standing colonial. But it doesn't give you anything else. This is also kind of really important. It just gives you, it found the record, and it will give you the ID and the name, nothing else. But because I asked for information to summarize the record, then it needs to call another action, which is called summarize action or summarize record. It's going to take that record, which is basically this record over here, and it's going to summarize it and basically writes this little paragraph. Again, I guess that's important. That's a good question. This is deterministic. That is not. All right. All right. So now let's take another occurrence. Okay. Give me the details of the property. This is summarize. This is details. Don't refresh for now. Please, we need to talk about something else, but don't refresh. Just paste the next occurrence. Give me the details of property name, whatever. because I like to collapse all these things. So there's a lot of boxes and it's not quite clear which one is the one you're working with, but this is the last one. So if you collapse all these, we have the same topic. Of course, we only have one. Now it's gonna get records. It doesn't have to go and find the record by name because it's part of the context, part of the conversation. It already knows that Estonian Victorian has this ID. What it doesn't have is all the fields, because before we summarized, but now take a look, even pictures. I'll property name this, city that, price that, bet, blah, 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 blah. Okay? All right. I think this is the last one for now. Yes. All right, so copy that one. Give me the details of the property. Now I'm changing my utterance. Now I'm not saying it's standing Victorian anymore. I'm giving the address. Find me one that is located at 18 Henry Street. We know from the conversation, if you scroll up, that Stony Victorian is actually located at 18 Henry Street. So, let's try that again. I was actually not expecting that. I was expecting it later. Let's try it again. Oh, really? No, but I was expecting something a little bit different. Shoot, I don't want to do the whole thing again. When I was building this, it worked. And I actually have something here. All right, woo, we're done. Let's go home. Right? And then when I refresh the conversation and I ask for the same question, now it's gonna tell me, I don't even know what you're talking about. Did it work for anybody?
Yes.
All right, well, not deterministic. But if you refresh, now let's do the refresh now with that icon over there and paste it. Does it work? Exactly. Because we were not testing the utterance, we were testing the conversation. So whenever you write an utterance from this point forward, always refresh the utterance or the conversation, not necessarily the page. Sometimes you have to, because sometimes this button becomes disabled. Then you refresh the page. But click on the refresh to make sure that you're testing the utterance, not the conversation. So in the conversation, we had the concept or the idea that Stanley Victorian was located in 1800 Street. All right. So congratulations, we are done. Yes, please. Oh, but you're giving the name, not the address, because it doesn't know how to find by address. Actually, we were talking about that 2 nights ago, right? All right, exactly. All right, so restart the conversation. Do the same utterance, doesn't work. Why does it not work? Because we were testing the conversation, not the utterance. So let's try this. I want everybody to do this. Refresh the conversation. Paste your utterance. Oh, this is an example when it goes, when the button doesn't come green, green, never will be green, doesn't come blue, you gotta refresh the page. Sometimes you kind of lose track of what you're doing. All right, so if the button becomes blue, that's good. Do the same 18 Henry Street, click send. This should say, in a minute, that, let's close this. It should say, oh gosh, it's a little bit dark in here. Where are my glasses? It should say, one topic is the only one we have, identify record by name. There's a record, find me a record with the name 1800 Street. Well, there's no record with the name. There's one record called Stunning Victorian. Has an address of 18, but is not the name. Okay, so at this moment, this is what you should do. We're gonna do it. And then we're gonna kind of undo so that everybody's on the same page. At this moment, this suggest improvement is a really, really good thing to do. So click on suggest improvement. What is incorrect in the agent response? It did not query the property based on the address field. I think I have a typo in there. And what should it do? Each agent should query for properties based on name, address, zip, and city. Then click submit. So then it's gonna try to analyze your prompt or your instructions, sorry, your topic. And it's gonna try to see why it's not actually doing that. It's gonna make some suggestions. But we already learned a very important lesson earlier today. Trust but?
Here.
Very good. Trust but? Thank you. All right, good. So let's read this. Edit the topic description to better reflect the types. Maybe you should say something like this. Don't just go blindly copy paste. Verify, okay? And also maybe add an instruction to do this, okay? Then you got it. You go and make your changes, do it again. In order to be consistent and continue kind of having as close as possible the same agent, we are going to actually change the topic, property management, the description, come on, seriously. The description is going to be, where's the description? Right here. Manage property records, including querying for properties, kind of similar to what we say. Only manage property records. That's the scope. I think it doesn't change. And then the instruction should be query properties based on name, address, zip, and city fields to retrieve relevant details. All right, click save. One of the problems that we're having right now is that the identifying record by name is kind of getting in the way of what we're trying to do. Get rid of it. So what we're gonna do is in the topic, property management, topic actions, we're gonna remove identify record by name, because now we're having an instruction that says, look for name, address, bedrooms, whatever. So remove from topic. All right, save the changes, go back to the topic configuration. It's already saved. Restart the conversation. We don't want to test the conversation. We don't want to test the planner. We want to test our instructions. So always refresh. Refresh is gonna be your friend. All right. Now let's see if we're able to actually find now a property by the address. All right, it did. That's a pretty house. It found it. How did it work? Well, good question. Let's see what happens now. Now we have 6 actions. We removed 1. It's now doing a query record, not find by name, but actually query. It's finding the property with the address 18 Henry Street, which is good. Let's take a look at the SOCO query that it does, where address is equals to 18 Henry Street. Good. All right, excellent. What will happen if I do, let's say, abbreviations? So don't write street, write Steve or F or whatever, something like that, right? So it's gonna be step number 5, restart. And I'm doing something here, it's kind of funny. I'm putting a dot at the end, okay? Because if the query is somehow smart, and it does in SOCO, how many of you know SOCO a little bit? All right, good. See, like Steve percentage, it could find it. I put a dot so it doesn't find it with a like. All right. So then let's copy that, put it over here. Oh, the blue icon doesn't go alive, so let's reset. Sometimes it just gets crazy. All right, send it. Let's see what it does. Oh, it finished. All right, what does it say? I couldn't find any property with the address. Let's see why I couldn't find any property. What is the query? The query says find the property with the dot. All right. What's the SOCO query? The SOCO query that I look for property. What's the SOCO query? Right here. Where address equals. Okay, I'm just doing an equals. And oh wait, that's probably doesn't seem right. No, it does. All right, so it doesn't find it. It doesn't find it. So what do? We start with the smallest thing we can, and when we try an occurrence and that occurrence doesn't work, change the occurrence a little bit, make it more clear to the agent what is it that you're trying to do. So now we're gonna do with this particular instruction over here. Oh, not the instruction. Paste that. If you need to find a property, you can either find the property name, for example, Stanley Victoria, give examples. Examples are good. Property ID. We know that in Salesforce, IDs are 18 characters. Agents don't know that. You got to teach that to the agent. Property address in the States, in our database, it looks something like this. 1 Street, Main Street. By property zip code. Zip code has 5 digits because this is US. So give examples of what you're looking. And then I say always convert the abbreviations, things like and do to street and west. Okay, so once we do that and we save it, yes, please. Yes, I replaced the instruction. So the topic should only have one single instruction. Yes, the description. So I'll be back. Amy, my topic has a name, property management. It has a description. It has a scope, and it has a single one instruction. Yes, I did replace. This thing here? No. We could try that. I don't know. So we could try that. So let's actually do it. Let's see, Henry. Oh, I think I know the answer. Oh gosh, to reload. And the answer is no, it will not. It will find the same thing. And why? Because it's doing a SOCO. And SOCO text fields in Salesforce are case insensitive unless you care about that. When you say duplicates, you have an option of saying ignore lowercase or take uppercase. You've seen that when you're defining the fields. Then you care about that. Then this one will not give you that. But in here, when I ask for uppercase Henry, it did find lowercase Henry or what is that? Type Pascal case? I don't know. All right. So it's finding with a dot. Why is it finding with a dot? Let's take a look what the SOCO query is. Where address, street. I didn't say street. Correct. I did. It just knows by the instruction that it wants to do the full address. So that's the way we have it on the database. Right? Good? All right. So let's do number 6 now. I will not repeat you to refer to the conversation, but I always do. Before, I just wanted not to refresh so that I could kind of prove, didn't work for me, but for some of you did, that it actually has information on the conversation. All right, but it's always when you're testing this, make sure that unless you want to follow a conversation, you always refresh. All right. So can we do queries and get data? Yeah, we can find a house by the street or the. Can we change data? No, good question. Let's try it. Let's find out. Change the status of the property at 18 Henry Street to sold. All right. Send it. Oh, I should have refreshed, but. Right. Now, this part is not deterministic. It may do it right away. It may ask you for confirmation. Make sure you're sure, something like that. We're going to say, yes, I am absolutely convinced that it should be sold. Because I just sell it. Oh, wait. It seems that sold is not a valid option for this status field, which is expected, actually. Because if you take a look at the field definition, which is a pick list, it has the, what is the name of that checkbox? Enforce exact values. Oh, yeah, that one. Restrict something. Yeah. So it's not sold, it's closed. So let's try it again with the word closed. Refresh and see what happens. All right, you want to confirm it? Yes, I do. Make it. The status of the property 18 Henry Street has been updated to close. Yay. Trust, but you got it. Thank you. Let's see if that's right. Let's go into the, that's Coral Cloud, Dreamhouse. See, this company has multiple lines of business. Guys heard about Coral Cloud? Yeah. Go into the properties, find the Stunning Victorian, which should be the first one since recently viewed. What's the status here? Absolutely. So what does that mean? Couple things. One, we can update data. Two, we don't have to fiddle with the instructions anymore because it's working. Right? We start small until we break it. When we break it, we fix it. We keep going. Just like writing code, I guess. As developers usually do that type of stuff. All right, good. So back to the builder. Let's refresh. Oh, okay. Hopefully it's not what I had on the screen because I just refreshed.
It was related to that.
That's okay.
I still have it on my.
Okay.
So when I ran this change the status to closed and it brought up the confirmation dialog. The status was already closed on that for that property. Even though it said everything. Does it update it?
Once you do confirm, it will try to do the DML, but there's a kind of validation rule that says that the value must be closed, not sold. So you change it to closed, and it worked.
No, it was already closed. That's why.
I'm not sure who closed it. Everybody should have an independent order.
I don't think it was already closed. I think it was showing you, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mark.
Oh, I see. And then there's a conformance about it. Got it. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the live translation. All right, let's try one more. Update the price of the property to $950,000. Okay, paste it, run it. So update the price of the property. We need to say which one. Is that what you're talking about? I know you. What's your name?
Abhishek.
Of course, Abhishek. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
No, this is confirmed.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So we're gonna change it to now. Look at me, please. Well, not at me. I'm too ugly. But look at the projector over there. 950 with a $sign and a comma. For some of you, I think for most of you, but this is new, it removes that because the numbers cannot have commas, cannot have $signs. Does anybody still have a $sign there? Okay, good, because it's not deterministic. So the next step is for you guys later. All right, so for now, we're gonna try to confirm that. Shouldn't. But if you did have a dollar sign, it will fail. Well, yours have a dollar sign. If yours have a dollar sign here, but not here, it will work. Yours has a dollar sign, so it's not going to work as expected. So what do we do? Exactly. So what we do is we add another instruction. Because it's not about querying anymore. It's about number format. So it's a kind of a different concept. It's a new instruction. We all are going to do it, even if it works for us. We're going to add a new instruction. The property currency fields, what does it say here? The property currency fields, price, must not be formatted when changing the data. Remove these characters, dollar, comma, etc. Right? So we give it an instruction. A different instruction now because it's kind of a different concept. It's not, first one is about getting data, the second one is putting the data back. All right.
Add it as a separate instruction instead of just.
If it's a different concept, the first instruction about querying data, retrieving data. This one is about changing the format. It's different. It's not, if we say, we also want to find houses by the last name of the people who live there, that's still how you get the data. So that would be changing the first instruction. That would be weird. Only buy houses from people Smith. All right. Right. For those of you who failed before, especially, try it again in